Ladies and gentlemen, this is Panel to Panel, your show about comics and everything pertaining to. I am Spin Dash, and with me, as always, is my good buddy, the Space Chief.
Hey, everybody.
And our lovely, lovely friend, Jules.
Hi.
And this week, we're talking about annuals. Last week was a big week for them. We're going to talk about them. But as you know, we've got to tell you what we liked about New Comic Book Day. So, Jules, I want to start with you first this week. I want to know what caught your interest this week.
Okay. This week, my first pick, as you two probably already know, is going to be Savage Wolverine, number 5. I know a lot of people didn't like this because I think they wanted kind of an ending to this arc since they're starting a new arc with issue 6. But I thought this was fantastic. I loved it. I laughed. I just didn't. I think that he wanted it that way. I didn't think he wanted an ending. So I think it went great. So anyways, yes, go pick up this one. There.
I did.
And my second pick is Wolverine and the X-Men number 30.
Excellent.
And Spin Dash, he got me started reading this. So I started with last issue, and then, which would be 29, and now I read 30. This was so good. There was so much that happened in it. And I love the Beast in this. He's probably one of my favorite characters. Wolverine actually was only in it for a second.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about the Beast in that issue before you came on.
And in fact,
yeah, but this,
and also Abigail Brand was in this issue.
She was in it. I was so excited when I saw her. I was like, oh my gosh! And there was a joke about how the green hair and the green outfit, and I think Beast was telling her, it was kind of making fun of her. But
the green hair and the green boots don't go together, or something like that.
Yeah, he was making fun of her. But in this issue, the reason why I liked it is because Beast is trying to save Brew because he got shot, and he wants him to be like he was before, not so animalistic. So that was really really a great. That was my favorite part of the story.
If you don't follow Wolverine and the X-Men, Brew, of course, is a member of the Brood, which have been a part of Marvel history for decades. I mean, back to the 70s, I think even before. But Brew was an intelligent Brood. He was smart. Mm-hmm. He was eloquent, and he ended up getting shot in the head by the Hellfire Club. And then when he ended up being in a coma for a long time, and then he woke up, and now he's kind of reverted back to a feral Brood characteristics. So Beast is trying to get him back to being. Back to being Brood.
Smart and have heart. Yeah. And that's what I really liked about this, because he was standing up for him, and not just oh well, just whatever happens, but he was making sure that he's trying to get him back. So there's that. I think you guys have this on your list too. X-Men number 1. Yay! I had very high expectations for this, and I think all of my expectations were met. So I was so excited about this one. I like it centered, and I think Spin Dash will agree with me, mainly around Jubilee. She's so cute. I love her. And then the last panel was just amazing in this. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the next issue. And if you did not pick this up, you need to go get it right now. It's great. And then my next one is Adventures of Superman number 1. I loved every single story in here. I really loved the Jeff Lemire one, and it had so much heart to it. Really great story.
Did you get a variant? What's that? Or is that the same one I got?
No, that's the back.
Oh, the back. Okay. All right. That kind of tripped me out for a second. I don't recall looking at the back.
No, because they're plugging Superman Unbound so much.
Yeah, that was actually, there was an ad in there for that. My next pick is Captain America number 7. And, of course, he's trying to get back his son. He's still trying to get back his son. And then, I don't know, I just really love this one. I loved how he just keeps fighting through it. Somebody had said that they had a really bad review of it, and I read it, and I didn't agree with it, but I thought that I loved Captain America. I guess because someone said that he would never.
Was heartbreaking in that.
Yeah, the ending was so, oh my gosh, the ending was so sad. I almost cried right as soon as I read it, and I didn't even really see it coming. So that was one of my picks. And then I have to go with this one. It's My Little Pony. And Micro Series number 4, and actually Space Chief Jess would love this one. This one is such a good story about Fluttershy. If you have kids, this would be a perfect comic for you. It talks about her taking her art, and then she didn't want anybody to know that it was her, so she disguised herself, but at the end, everybody loved it. So it's a really good message for little girls to not change who you are because of what other people think. And there's the other cover, which is really awesome too. So if you have kids, little girls, little boys, it doesn't matter, pick that one up. And
Probably have to start buying that one now.
yeah, I think Jess would really like that. I started reading it and I was like, oh, she would love it. It's really cute. It's got a lot of craft things in it. I think that's it for me.
Awesome.
Beat that, Chief.
Oh man, I've got, let's see, 5 picks now? I narrowed it down to 7, but check this out. I have, my first one would be JLA number 4. This is the most unexpected thing happens in this that I can't talk about right now, but let's just say Vengeance will be Batman's next month. And also the John Jones story in the back, the follow-up is awesome. The story about his home world and why he is who he is and why he's called the Martian Manhunter and why he's so alone and everything that happened. That is an awesome book. My number 2 pick would be, actually I'm going down to my favorites, so this will be the 4th pick, actually. Avenging Spider-Man 21. I love this because Dr. Spider-Puss is a whole new level of crazy in this. Breaking into the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier is insane as it is, and kidnapping the chameleon, and the Hulk appears. It just gets nuts. This is an action-packed issue of Avenging Spider-Man, and I recommend it. Let's see, number 3, counting down here. I also have X-Men number 1, which I thought that the most intriguing part about this is who is actually the most dangerous person in the comic was the most surprising thing. I didn't expect that to happen. I love that. Also, Adventures of Superman number 1. I love this. I especially love the 2 kids playing Superman and the different villains. That was my favorite story. And what they say about Bizarro makes me laugh. And then number 1, I went through those quick because I got to talk about King Conan, Hour of the Dragon Part 1. This is the greatest comic book I've probably read in my whole life. Well, I wouldn't say that. But definitely in the last probably 6 months, probably my favorite one ever. 6th issue. This is going to be this is part 1 of 6. And it's actually going to be 12 parts. The first 6 are out this year. The next half of it will be out in 2014, but it is worth the wait. It is an official, it's a Robert E. Howard licensed book. This is actually a adaptation of his classic story. And this is amazing, amazing, amazing. I said it 3 times, it's that amazing. And I recommend King Conan, Hour of the Dragon Part 1 for everybody. If you don't get this, you're absolutely insane. And that's my picks this week.
All right. Awesome. So now I'm adding 2 because I had 3, but I want to be like you guys. So I'm going to have 5 picks. So
I'm greedy, man.
my first pick is going to be Morbius. Morbius number 5. I think this is one of the most underrated books Marvel's got going. But Morbius is fantastic. They set this up at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man run with Morbius breaking out of the raft. And now he's in this city. And I mean, there's a gang war in the city. There's drugs in the city, and Morbius he knows he's not a hero. He does bad things, but this book is just fantastic. It also marks the return of the Rose, who is the way he talks to Morbius. You know, Chief has said he's got all his cards lined up. He's got everything lined up. But definitely. A vampire that does not sparkle. That would be Morbius. So Morbius number 5.
Thank goodness.
My next one, I was talking with Chief about this one earlier. I've been following this series. Injustice, Gods Amongst Us, number 5. We all know the video game. These comics take place before the video game. This is kind of like two stories. There's a story of the Flash, and this is respect Barry Allen. Flash, and he's something's going on. He's trying to come to terms with what Superman is doing. And then in the next story, it's the continuing. Superman kind of decides Arkham Asylum is not where the villains should be anymore. And Harley Quinn, my girl Harley, does something that is pretty bold. But Injustice is fantastic. It's a great run, so pick that up. Next is Adventures of Superman number 1. Just like Jules and Chief, I absolutely love this. The Kids was probably my favorite story with them playing around as Spider-Man. We got to see they played as Mr. Mxyzptlk, and everybody knows everybody knows I love Mxyzptlk. But I also liked it when Superman. I loved it when Superman had to talk to Bizarro, and he kind of had to learn Bizarro's language because it was just so good. So
that's funny.
Adventures of Superman. Next is X-Men number 1. I am happy to have Jubilee back. I've always been a Jubilee fan, no matter what people say about Jubilee. I love Jubilee. And yeah, I mean, we got an all-female X-Men cast here. Probably the baddest of the bad when it comes to the female X-Men. Maybe it does not have Jean Grey, but it does have her daughter. It has Rachel. And I'm waiting for Jubilee's, the fact that Jubilee is a vampire to come into play in this series. That's what I'm waiting for is that to come into the series. But, I mean, you just look at them on the front and you know that these women are here they're here to kick butt and chew bubble gum, and they're all out of bubble gum.
Yeah, that's great.
And my final pick of the week, no surprise, is of course Sonic the Hedgehog with the Game Sprite variant. I can't say enough about the Worlds Collide saga with him and Mega Man. This issue is simply, I mean, it's just nonstop action from beginning to end. It's them working together, finding out how to take out the Robot Masters. And every time I look at people's picks for the week on other places, you know, there's DC, there's Marvel, there's IDW, but I never see them go with Sonic or an Archie book. And with Sonic hitting 250 issues, this is one of the longest running titles currently. It is a fantastic story arc, fantastic title. So I highly recommend Sonic the Hedgehog. So to recap, I had Sonic the Hedgehog number 249, X-Men number 1, Adventures of Superman number 1, Injustice number 5, and Morbius, the living non-sparkly vampire, number 5. Chief had.
I had Justice League of America number 4. I had Avenging Spider-Man number 21. Let's see, I had X-Men number 1. Keeps going. Adventures of Superman number 1. And the greatest book ever, King Conan, Hour of the Dragon Part 1.
All right, and Jules.
I had Savage Wolverine number 5. I had Wolverine and the X-Men number 30. I had X-Men number 1. Adventures Superman number 1. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Captain America number 7. And My Little Pony micro series number 4.
So please go out to.
And I will second Jules. I'm sorry. I was going to say I will second Jules' pick of Captain America because I almost picked that too. It was in my runner-up file, and it was an excellent, excellent issue.
So please go to your local comic book store. If you missed any of these issues, pick them up. We highly recommend them. And of course, as always, he's back. He's bad. The beard is teased more. We give him the Alan Moore beard of approval. So let's talk annuals. We wait for them all year. They're big books. We want to see what's going to happen in them. We're hoping for the best of the best when it comes to annuals.
Now that I'm gone, and when I come back, I will be something else.
But I mean, we had DC gave us 4 annuals this past week, and we got one from Boom, right? We got Adventure Time.
Mm-hmm. Adventure Time.
Orca Boom.
Did we come back, by the way?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay. I didn't know we were back yet.
But let's start off, Chief. Let's start off with Earth 2. Let's talk about Earth 2 annual, because we've got something to say to people about Earth 2 annual.
I was bummed. This was built up as we were going to find out who the new Earth 2 Batman, at least from what I understood, we were supposed to find out who the new Earth 2 Batman was and how he was related to Bruce Wayne. They said he wasn't just some stranger that put on the suit, that he was somehow related to the Bat family. And you got none of that in this book. Absolutely none of it. You barely see the guy. And most of it is about, like, Captain Atom or whatever, the attack they lead on that dude down in South America or So you barely get any view of Batman Earth 2 in this. And I was hoping for the whole thing to be about him, and I was totally disappointed in that.
Now, I will have to say, though, Earth 2 Batman did look pretty cool, though. I do have to give him that.
Yeah, he looks cool.
And
it wasn't that bad a story. I just had the build-up, and it wasn't there.
Right. It wasn't the build-up. Now, and of course, Earth 2 Batman is not afraid to kill. He is not above killing, like Bruce was. And then, of course, what about at the very end? What about at the very end with Barda?
Oh, that's awesome! She's killing the big monsters and stuff. That's great.
And then who showed up? And then you know who showed up at the end. Jules, what do you got something? You got anything about Earth 2?
Oh yeah. I don't want to ruin. Should we ruin it? Are we going to ruin that?
I actually didn't know how to read. This is the only one I wasn't able to read.
I'm not ruining it.
I actually wasn't able to read this one, so I don't know what happens in it because I didn't get to read it. But
it's really, really cool who shows up.
Read it.
Yeah, you got to read it.
Now I need to. I have to flip through it and look.
You got to. Go ahead.
I'll just flip through to the end and read it.
No, it's very awesome. I don't want to ruin it for people who are going to watch this who might want to read it, but it's the end of it.
Just kidding.
The Barda part where they're out in they're in old Gotham. What it is, Gotham is like a jungle now. It's been like overgrown. It's cool. Destroyed pretty much. And there's these big mutant beasts, and who comes after Barda? It's insane and it's great, and you will love it. But I'm not going to say it.
The art
but
looks really good in this.
I mean, I would not put it at the top of the list, for the fact that they hyped it up so much, and even on the cover it says The Darkest Night. And one of the things that DC does that drives me nuts, and I know, you'd use it to sell comic books, but they put these things on the cover, and you're thinking you're getting something. Like last week, Teen Titans, and I read Teen Titans.
Teen Titans, exactly.
I love Teen Titans, and on the cover was Red Robin, was Tim Drake, and he kind of looked like he was wearing the from the cartoon, the Red X. Looked like he was wearing the Red X.
Yeah.
And at the bottom it said Red Robin Reborn. And I was sitting there going,
nothing about that.
I was sitting there going, okay, cool. We're going to find out what's been happening to Red Robin since Death of the Family, because he's been doing stuff since Death of the Family. And none of it. Nothing. There was absolutely
not a word.
Oh, it just really upset me.
Indeed, I agree.
And I love Teen Titans. Huh? Sorry,
I
intermission.
heard some crickets chirping.
Intermission pony again. Oh, hi, everybody.
I'm here, right?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay.
I'm hearing something weird, too. I don't know what that is.
It's like a submarine thing, man.
Is it the Star Wars music?
No. It's like a pinging. It's the machine that goes bing.
Someone's having a baby.
I don't hear that.
That's why I thought it was because parts of that movie. What is this? Oh, I see you have the machine that goes bing. Okay.
I'm in the space station. It could be that or the Red October is hunting us.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we must hunt down the space chief. All right, so next, Batman: The Dark Knight.
Love it.
I loved it. I know there were some people on the review boards and things that did not like it. They felt it was not a story worthy enough of an annual. I think, once again, I'll also use my classic phrase, get your heads examined.
I liked it too.
I thought it was great.
I liked.
I liked. Go ahead, Jules. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but I like how it all played out and how they all met and then how everything went down. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. And then the end, it was
the last thing was fantastic. The final joke that it's the best thing ever.
That was really good. I really liked it.
I thought it was great. I mean, I love the psychological aspect of it. That was probably my favorite part, was the psychological aspect. That and the Mad Hatter, actually. I know this, though he's in the Dark Knight right now, but I think he looked better in this annual. That, and really, you got the three villains that Batman has faced in the last couple issues of Dark Knight. Because over the last arcs, you've had the Penguin, you've had the Mad Hatter, and you've had Scarecrow. So it was real nice delving into their psyche.
What the Mad Hatter did.
Huh?
What the Mad Hatter did in that last issue, he's going down so hard. That's the crazy.
Didn't I tell you? Oh my God! If you're a Batman fan and you pick up, you're picking up Batman and things like that, but you're not reading The Dark Knight, you are missing out, because The Dark Knight, to me, it is grittier. It is the grittier Batman. This is like those stories, especially the current arc. Yes, the Hatter. I think everybody knows the Mad Hatter is probably my favorite Batman villain. I love the Mad Hatter. But the Scarecrow arc, when he was going up against Scarecrow, was fantastic.
That was crazy too.
It was fantastic, and the cover art for Dark Knight is just so much different than what you're seeing in Batman and Robin, or the Detective Comics. You're getting the dark grittiness, and then this was, to me, was just a fantastic annual. I think it was very worthy of an annual. Then Bruce at the end. Bruce cracked me up at the end.
Yeah. His face
Yeah,
was
and in a way,
great,
that
too.
was almost darker than. I mean, it had a kind of comedic in, but to think about Bruce Wayne thinking that up is almost
Yeah.
just darker and more hardcore and weird than anything Bruce Wayne has done in a long time.
And he was just all like so nonchalant about it, like, you know, I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Next up, Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Yes, indeed.
Loved Red Hood and the Outlaws. And what I love is that even though it was an annual, it tied into what's currently going on in Red Hood. And
Right.
I mean, so much stuff. And it focused mainly on Arsenal, on Roy, and his relationship with Green Arrow.
Yeah.
That's what I love. Now, Chief and I
Yeah.
had talked earlier. They showed back flashes of him with Roy and his alcoholism, but they did not address. I don't know why they did not address his heroin addiction, which was and Chief backed me up on this. That was probably one of the most significant moments in a Green Arrow storyline was when he walks in and there's Speedy Roy shooting heroin into his arm.
That's still to this day one of the most controversial comic books that's ever been done, I think. I think it's for one thing, what a hardcore thing for him to be doing. And to put that in a comic book at the time that came out, that was just a story way ahead of its time, way more a mature storyline than probably anything DC had done up to that point, for sure.
Now, when that story came out, correct me, I'm foggy on it, was the comic book code still in effect when that story came out, or was that afterwards?
I am not exactly sure. I do know that when they did the Marvel, when they did the Harry Osborn drug story, and they told Stan Lee he couldn't do that, Stan Lee said, "Then take the code off my book. I'm still going to do it."
Right.
And they did it anyway. But I'm not so sure about the DC Green Arrow. I'm not as versed in old Green Arrow as I am old Spidey.
Right. But I mean, that and Jules, what did you think? What was your thoughts, and especially what were your thoughts about Corey? You know, about Starfire.
Starfire, yeah. I really enjoyed this book. This, out of all the ones that were out, this was probably my favorite, which really surprised me. I didn't think it would be. Yeah, I thought, I did like I like Green Arrow, of course. So I did like the relationship there, how they went into it and how they were, kind of serious but joking around at the same time, you know, like, and, yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, Starfire, she was great. And, what happened when she was like she thought Roy was in there and she was flying in there, to go after him. That was really, and then there was gasoline in there. That really was kind of scary for me because I didn't, want anything to happen to her. But yeah, I love this one. I thought it was great. I thought the artwork was fantastic. I loved it. It's good.
I think
Good
one of my favorite things was Cheshire in it too. Cheshire had me cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really cool.
And what was great about it was, and that's the thing, because Red Hood has always been, since Red Hood came out with the New 52, it got a lot of backlash because the over-sexualization of Starfire. Well, now you've got Cheshire in here, and she's all sexual up in this book.
Oh yeah, she was hitting on everybody in this book.
I don't get that, because on Christ on Infinite Earth, I thought she was just as much so. Like, if you go back to Christ on Infinite Earth, she's going around telling everybody Nightwing's her lover, and she's just open about all that stuff. And I don't think that there's really any difference from her now than she was then.
What people are looking at is they're looking at Starfire from the Teen Titans cartoon. And how she was naive, she was kind of loopy. That's what people were looking at. And then they get what Starfire, and Starfire has never been in the comics, to my knowledge, other than like Tiny Titans, and stuff like that. She's never been like she was in Teen Titans. She's always looked like this. She's always had revealing clothes. She's always been like that. You go back to her appearances. That's so. But now you got, like I said, now you got Cheshire, and Cheshire was just cracking me up. I mean, talking about taking Roy and putting him in a cage and making him her little pet and everything like that.
Stealing his hat. She stole his hat and took off with it.
So, but definitely, you need to pick up Red Hood, because Red Hood is an excellent, excellent book. And honestly, in my opinion, probably some of the best covers going currently in the New 52. The covers for Red Hood are consistently fantastic, especially like the.
Oh yeah, the one where he's.
Go ahead.
When he's in front of the brick wall and he's got the two guns and in the blood there, that one's awesome.
That one was fantastic. Or what about it was Red Hood, where they redid the Death of Jason Todd picture. And Batman's holding Red Hood, but in the water is him holding him as when he was Robin. They've also
that's awesome too.
They've also done like a Star Wars type cover. Red Hood is to me has been consistently good. I have loved Red Hood.
The arc where they went to space and they were with Starfire's people, that was a great arc. Where they had to go back and save her planet, and they met her sister and all that. That was some awesome stuff.
That was good stuff. And then, of course, the Death of the Family arcs with him, learning more about how the Joker kind of manipulated everything. So Red Hood and the Outlaws, #1 annual. Check that out. Now, this next one, Chief, I know you're not going to be able to talk about because your comic book guy did not give it to you.
I know.
Catwoman.
I know. I'm getting everything.
Catwoman. Jules, did you read Catwoman?
Catwoman. I did get to read Catwoman. Yeah, I liked Catwoman. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say, Chief, remember when you ranted about continuity? You're going to be able to rant even more because you've read JLA, and then there's Catwoman Annual #1. You'll be able to rant even more about what the heck is going on.
Right. Well, we discussed the Amanda Waller possibility, though, so maybe it'll make more sense than after the next issue.
Yeah, but Jules, go ahead.
No, I just like how, she wasn't going to help. I don't want to really ruin it, but she wasn't going to help Rat Tail at the beginning. And then after she goes through and finds out everything with the Penguin, like all the stuff that he did, and at the end she goes back and she's like, count me in. But I thought that told a lot about her because she really doesn't play well with others. But, at the end she ended up doing the right thing. The Penguin had those black popsicles that he was selling to, kids and everything. It was just a terrible thing. And she was like, I'm through with him. I'm done with him. So I thought that was really, really cool. That was probably one of my second favorite. I really liked her in that one.
The weird thing with the Catwoman title, and I've been collecting Catwoman in the New 52 line since issue 1. I've always collected Catwoman. It's funny to see how her story arcs have kind of progressed, because it goes from her with the opening panel of her shacking up with Batman in one issue, and then it's like, okay, she's stealing this, but then all of a sudden there's this villain she has to go beat, and then all of a sudden here's the Joker, and then
it's hilarious.
Damian dies and Batman freaks the living snot out of her. Then she goes.
Oh, that's a great one, man.
Then she goes and breaks into some top secret facility and gets sucked into this hell dimension. And then now there's a gang war that she's involved in. It's kind of like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, where does A and B sync? And then where is she in JLA? And
yeah,
I don't care as long as she keeps wearing that outfit. I really don't care what she does.
That's true.
Don't care. But her.
I love the Black Diamond outfit.
That was a
Black Diamond was one of my favorite stories.
That was a great art.
She was trapped with that guy in the room.
And like you said, the one where Batman is chasing her down after the death of Damian was just phenomenal. He freaked her out, and it was good. And
oh, she got scared. He punched his fist into a motorcycle helmet. He punched an indent of his fist into a steel motorcycle helmet, showing he meant business.
And that's what the other thing is funny is it's like Catwoman has like she steals this car, she steals that car, then she has the Catwoman bike, and it's a motorcycle with the cat face on the front, and it was kind of like a throwback to the old Batmobile with the big Batman face that was on the front. So
yeah.
Catwoman is just all over the place, but it's such a fun roller coaster ride. It is so fun. I love you, Catwoman.
It's a great character.
Fun. I do, and I changed my picture to her today.
Jules, do you have one more annual? Because I don't have it. Do you have the Adventure Time annual?
I do have the Adventure Time.
I don't have it either.
Am I the only one that has it?
You're the only one that's got it.
You're the only one that has it.
Oh, Adventure Time. Yeah.
Give us your quick review.
Quick review, 30 seconds, right? No, the Adventure Time comic was good. The first story. Actually, I thought it was going to be the whole entire comic, but there's like 4 stories in here. But the first one's really cute, especially for kids because like it's the alphabet. So like A, you're an adventure, B, C, D. It goes all the way to the end of the alphabet. That's the first little story. That was really cute. I did like that one. The second one was Sword Most Awesome, and it looks like a game. So it looks like that.
Oh, look at that. I might need to pick that up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So you go through, that's why I want to show you, but look at the artwork on this one. It's beautiful. So beautiful. So
oh, yeah, I'm going to get that Wednesday.
So beautiful. But my favorite one, and then there's a No Dogs Allowed one. That one was cute. But my favorite one was the Dungeons and Desserts one. Like Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeons and Desserts, of course, with the Ice King, who we all know that I have a little crush on. And I don't know, like you can't, it's going to be hard for me to show you, but the Ice King in this, he looks like Conan. He's like just buff, like all these muscles and everything. So they're playing Dungeons and Desserts. It's really funny. And he's the good guy and Finn's the bad guy. And then he wins. But Gunther takes the sword from the dessert first. And then you just see them playing on the table and like pieces are flying everywhere. And it's just hilarious. And he says he's never going to play with Gunther again because he cheats. And then the last story is really cute. It's about Finn. They're going to climb the highest mountain ever, not the Ice King's mountain. But Finn's backpack comes to life, and he kind of like takes over the show. He has like, I don't know, he looks interesting. He looks kind of like a pea with legs. I don't know if you can see him. To take him to the highest mountain. Oh, and then there was the last one. It's about lemons. So that was kind of funny. They take like the sea animals that are yellow, like the yellow fish. They make lemonade out of it. The octopus they make lemon pie out of. It was kind of silly. It was cute.
You know, I'm glad that Jules turned me on to Adventure Time comics because I wasn't reading them before, and because of Jules, I started getting them, and they're really awesome. And especially in the comics, there's all kinds of like references to geeky stuff, like she was talking about, like in the one it was like the Hall of Just Ice, and like in this one they're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I just love that because on the show you don't really get that much, but in the comics you get more of that references to comics and like cool stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that. And that's why I'm really liking it. I also like the little green words at the bottom of every page that have the little like the writer's comments at the bottom. Those are awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
That and it's had great spin-offs with Marceline and the Scream Queens and now Fiona and Cake, and there's another one, and the Bravest Warriors was a spin-off of Adventure
Bravest Warriors, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I started getting Bravest Warriors and Fiona and Cake too.
And when I know you guys are talking about Comic-Cons a lot, but I noticed the last couple like small ones that we went to, and we went to Tekashokon, which is an anime convention that we went to. I'm like, oh, we're not. Paige was saying Wreck-It Ralph and Adventure Time. I said we won't see Adventure Time here because we saw so much Adventure Time. Everybody dressed up like Finn and Jake. Well, Finn, you know, the shorts, the backpack, and everything. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me? It's an anime convention, so I guess you can dress up whatever you want, but it's so big. Adventure Time is so big. If you go into Hot Topic, that's like all you see is Adventure Time stuff. If you go
Yeah,
anywhere, that's all you
Oh,
see.
I'll be right. What's that?
Yeah,
I'll show you something cool.
at Virginia Comic Con, they had in February. We had different vendors had multiple variant covers of not only Adventure Time but Marceline and Fiona and Cake. So vendors had variant covers.
Cool.
You just look at those things. Those are cool.
Where did you get? Did Jess make them?
Just made them.
Oh my gosh,
She
I'm
just
so
made up the
jealous.
pattern in a minute.
Look at that.
I'm so jealous. Those are so cool. Shout out to Jess. That is so awesome.
If you want your own mini Finn and Jake, you need to contact the Space Chief.
I want my own mini
That's right.
Finn and Jake for sure. I will order it right now.
Yeah.
They're for free for you guys. I'm sure Jess will make them for you guys if you want them.
Can she make mine Fiona
That is
and
like
Cake?
the coolest thing.
Can I have Fiona and Cake?
Maybe.
Because I like Fiona. But now at Virginia Comic Con, there was
She's
just so
talented.
many.
That's awesome.
At Virginia Comic Con, there was just so many people dressed up as Finn and Jake and Fiona and Cake and Marceline.
I know.
And I mean, the variant covers were like, I mean, they were not cheap variants. You know, they were probably between 10, 25, $50 variants. Because I ended up getting a couple Fiona and Cake variants for probably like $10 each. So $20 for a couple variants. But they also had one of the cover artists there signing books, and her books were like $25 a piece. But there's so many people dressed up as Finn and Jake and Fiona and Cake. And then the last time I went, they had another one in April. I had never seen so many Princess Bubblegums in my life. I mean, there was like 50 Princess
Oh.
Bubblegums.
That's cool.
Love those toys too. Those are awesome. And then of course,
Those are awesome.
And of course, Chief and I have to give a shout out because thanks to the Adventure Time comics and their popularity, we were able to get Regular Show as a comic.
That's my jam.
And we love Regular Show.
Speaking of which, the new season started, right? So I need to start watching it, I think.
You know, hey Chief,
could be
guess
wrong.
what
I think so. I got one on my DVR that's new, I think.
hey Chief,
I haven't watched it yet, though.
guess what I've been jamming out to in the car?
What's that?
Summertime and summertime.
Oh, that's right. You told me about the DVD. You got the DVD.
Summer loving.
I like the off snap better.
Hey, be loving in the summertime. So yeah, I've been chilling.
Off snap was better.
Oh, All Snap is great, but no,
Now-
in my car, I've been listening to it. It goes, my playlist in my car, it goes Batman Beyond, Doctor Who theme, Summertime Lovin', Big Bang,
That's funny.
Big Bang Theory.
That was mine.
Theme. So, but
That's funny.
What was that?
Huh?
Whoa. Got weird for a second. Awkward stares.
One of us.
I just realized that I know what you're talking about because I got some clicks on my computer and I think that was the sound.
Want to tell you a couple things that are coming out next week in New Comic Book Day, and of course I've got a shout out to do. But next week, New Comic Book Day, you're getting all new X-Men, which is going to be fantastic. Age of Ultron.
Ooh, yay, all new X-Men.
Age of Ultron's coming out.
Ooh, yeah.
Chief, I know, Red She-Hulk.
Yes. It's going to be a good one. Everybody should get that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be in the Nexus, or at least down in the swamp, and with Green She-Hulk, possibly Man-Thing, I think is supposed to be in it. It's going to be awesome. Showdown of the century.
Man-Thing will be in it. Man-Thing's on the cover. He will be in it, and it's the Nexus of all realities. Maybe we'll see a certain duck, hopefully. Please, Marvel, grant my wishes.
That's what I was thinking.
But you're also getting, I know Detective Comics is coming out next week, so you're going to get some Batman. Just a lot of great things coming out next week. Green Lantern number 21.
Yeah. Green Lantern 21. I was
Oh, yeah.
about that. I just read number 20.
Hal,
Hal Jordan's in charge of the Corps.
Hal Jordan is back in charge of the Corps. So we'll see how that plays out without Jeff Johns. But definitely, that is some good stuff. Now, I want to give a shout out real quick. Last week, we ended up getting our hands on a book that I felt was simply fantastic. It's an indie title. Just blew my mind how good it was. And I'm talking, this book is called Dead Future King. Basically, absolutely love this book. Take Arthurian legend and mash it together in a blender with The Walking Dead, and you get Dead Future King.
Yes.
Exactly. And if you read like the book Future King and Arthur dies and they say he's going to come back one day in the ocean, it's like, what a way to bring it back. I mean, this is like almost a sequel to like the story Once a Future King or the Arthur legend. It's like updated, brought to the future, but it's like, you know, it's the story you've been waiting for. Like, what reason would Arthur come back from the dead? Why would he come back to save England and his homeland and everything? And it's the perfect reason. Because zombies. I mean, I couldn't picture him fighting a futuristic enemy. I couldn't picture him fighting aliens. Who better to deal with zombies than a master tactician, hand-to-hand combat specialist, sword fighter? It's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
I agree. I loved it as well.
The artwork was fantastic. The writing was great. Mm-hmm. I can't say enough about this book. I absolutely just loved it. It was so fantastic. The creator and he's the creator and the artist, David Flores, sent us the book, wanted us to see what we thought. And honestly,
we loved it.
We loved every minute of it. So check it out, deadfutureking.com. Second issue is on its way. He's working on it. He's going to get it done. But we want to give a shout out to Dave. Dave, thank you for sending us the book.
Thank you.
We loved it. Absolutely loved it. We can't wait for issue number 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for Panel to Panel. I am Spin Dash.
I am the Space Chief.
Jules.
And cue whatever weird thing is coming at the end of the show tonight.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.